Hello everyone, welcome to video number 6, which is going to be about essay number 1 and the assignment sheet. So you can find the assignment sheet under the assignments tab on Blackboard, and that's also where you will be submitting it, and we'll have another video later in the semester about peer review and submitting the final draft. But for this video, I'm just going to talk about the assignment sheet and what it is. So this will be a 6 to 7 page essay, which will be worth 250 points or 25% of your overall grade. I have a rough outline of the due dates here, which are also what you can see on the syllabus, again, which the schedule, which is in the bottom of the syllabus. So if you look at week 5, which begins with October 18th, on that Monday, the 18th, you should be watching a video that will walk you through what we're doing with peer review and how you can submit the final draft. So that Monday, you should email me your rough draft of essay number 1, or what you have so far, by 11:59 p.m. I will email everybody on that Tuesday, the 19th, so whenever I have everything done. Now, I will say I teach an 8 a.m. class in the mornings on Tuesdays and Thursdays, so it might be not right away in the morning, but I will get that to everybody as soon as possible. If anybody emails me earlier on that Monday, then I will have it to you sooner and you can start sooner. But between Tuesday and Wednesday, you should do your finished peer review. It will be through Office 365, which is powered by SWIC. So you'll be given a link through email, so make sure you're checking your email that week, especially that Tuesday, that you can find your peers' essays. Well, you will comment them and fill out the question guide. So you should finish peer review by that Wednesday night, October 20th, and the final draft will be due October 22nd. So this is week 5, and so by this point we will have had several weeks to do this, so making sure you're working on your essay well before this week 5 is just when we're doing the kind of work on the peer review and the whole class information. Again, as I said in the syllabus video, if you would like me to read a rough draft of your essay before then, please email me at least a week before the final draft is due. And this is 6 to 7 pages and should be double spaced. Okay, all of the essays this semester will be double spaced, MLA format with your header and all that good stuff. And so your formal essays 1 and 2 this semester will be linked together by topic. And so your essay number 1 will be exploratory, which means that you will be exploring an idea and a topic. Your essays 1 and 2 should be about the same topic. Now you can kind of veer off based on where you go with this exploratory essay, but you should not just completely abandon your ideas that you're writing about in essay number 1 and choose to write about something else in essay number 2. If you choose to do that, you should write a whole nother exploratory. So in this essay, you will be exploring and asking questions, investigating research, and answering those questions. So the objective of this assignment will be for you to figure out what your thesis is for your essay number 2 or your argumentative research essay. Because writing, brainstorming, critical thinking take a lot of work. They take a lot of time. So this essay is your space to really think through those questions or those ideas. And I have a specific outline of what you should be doing. You should follow this outline for your essay number 1. You will not have as formal of an outline on your essay number 2, but you will have that for essay number 1, and you should follow this. The students who struggle the most oftentimes kind of veer from this outline, so making sure you're sticking to this. And it should fit this format. So for your example, your introduction, and we'll have an example of this. I'll have a separate video talking about the example. And your introduction will be like a personal narrative. So you'll answer these questions. So what is the problem? You can pick whatever topic you want. It should have some type of problem. So when we think about exigency or the problem and the reason why somebody's writing, it should start with some type of problem in relation to exist. So say you're writing about climate change, the problem might be, there are an extreme amount of natural disasters, forest fires, hurricanes, tornadoes, etc., going on at a rapid pace. And so that might be the problem. Now, you don't have to write about climate change, but that's an example, right? Why are you interested in this problem? You should be interested somewhat in this problem. If you have written about it before, you should be interested in some new angle, because maybe you've written about a broad topic, or this is something that you are getting your degree in, that you're really, really interested in. Or maybe you just really want to explore different topics that have nothing to do with your degree, that you just want to explore more. This can be a really interesting way to explore something new or that you may not have thought of before. But it should be a problem in the world. Can be as specific as being in your everyday life, or just broadly about climate change, even if you have not been personally affected by it. Why are you interested in this problem? You should, explain why you're writing about this. Why did you pick this? What do you know about this problem, and how do you know it? That question should be asked and answered before you do any extensive research. So you could go back and revise it, but this should be asked. You don't necessarily have to. Do not write the question in your introduction. You should answer it, but ask it yourself and then answer it in the paper. But ask yourself, what do you know at this point? And then the next question is, what do you not know about this problem? What questions remain? The purpose of C and D are to help you understand at the beginning of your writing process, how do you know everything about this topic already? Is there any place to explore? Because the purpose of you're kind of asking questions, you're looking at what's out there, you're trying to ask and answer questions throughout your essay. If you know everything about this problem, then there's not a lot to explore. But if you don't know it, you should kind of have a little bit of information about it, but maybe not everything. And so what you know about this problem would be common knowledge, maybe something you've learned in the past. Maybe you just have a perception you really don't know that much. So asking, saying specifically, what do I know and not know, helps you understand, should I even write about this, right? And then if you have a lot of information about C, but not a lot about D, then you probably should pick another topic on it, to be honest. You should or maybe find another angle about that topic that you don't know more. You should find a topic you do not know everything about. Okay, that's really important. What you're writing about matters. And then, for your introduction, you should also write a thesis question. What do you know to know throughout your research? You should have a pretty broad question here, but not too broad. Throughout the essay, all the smaller questions that you ask and answer will ultimately lead to an answer of this ultimate question. So your goal throughout your exploratory essay, at the end in your conclusion, is to answer those overriding questions, as you can see through this. And so through all of your body paragraphs, all the research you're doing, all the analysis you're doing, you should read to an answer. So you want to try to ask a question that starts with maybe a how or why versus a what or an it. So you do not ask a question that ends with a yes or no. So is climate change real? Yes, that question is easily answered by a lot of scientific evidence. But you might start there. That's not something you're going to be writing about for 6 or 7 pages, right? But how does climate change affect people who are in financially disproportionate areas, like people who don't have as much money versus people who have more money? Or how, or maybe a regional. So, or why is climate change not, why are laws not being implemented about climate change as fast as maybe it should be? And so thinking about a broader question that can be answered through research realistically. Okay, and so wanting to ask a how or why question versus a question that can be answered yes or no. So that's really important. And if you have any questions, if you want to email me your thesis question or anything part of it, feel free to, in the process of writing this. Your body paragraphs should all kind of fulfill the same format, but they should build on each other as you're going along. So this should be something you do organically. So you do throughout. So you're thinking. I should be able to see your thinking and how each question builds upon. So you should have a question as your topic sentence. This question should not be the same as your thesis question, but you should start, what do I want to know? What question can you ask that's going to be researchable, you can find an answer to, and that is related to your question. So don't write your thesis question about climate change and all of a sudden start talking about, cats being declawed. That's going to be completely irrelevant. And so make it something that's going to help you research and analyze and answer ultimately that thesis question. So your first paragraph, your first body paragraph, you have a question as your topic sentence. Then you answer that question with at least one credible source. Each body paragraph should have at least one credible source. but I do not necessarily have a specific amount of sources that you have to have, but you should have at least one credible source per body paragraph, okay? Investigate the research. You want to analyze the source and why it matters to your question. How does the information you're presenting from that source answer that question? I should see your critical thinking here. Why is this important? And then ultimately answer the question. Allow this answer to lead into a next question that you are curious about for the next paragraph. And then do this for every new body paragraph. So I should be able to see how one paragraph in question builds into the next. I should be able to see that pretty clearly. So don't necessarily like flip your paragraphs around. The order you do and how you're thinking about this is going to be really important. Okay. And then your conclusion, once you're all done with your body paragraphs, you should ultimately answer your thesis question. This thesis question will ultimately be your working thesis that you will start with for your essay number 2 and then support that. So you hypothetically could use some of the same research for your essay number 2 and your essay number 1, but it is also very possible that you have gone so far from where you thought you would that you kind of have to develop some new sources, okay? So the idea here is not to have an assumption of what you're going to find, okay? Allow the research to kind of organically lead you to these answers. And I'll have separate videos that talk about how to find research, what makes a credible source, all that stuff in the future. But really allowing this, don't make assumptions on what you're going to find. Allow the research, what information is out there, what credible information, what facts you're going to find. They're going to allow you to answer these questions in a credible way. So don't assume you're going to find something. So allow kind of assumptions of information to kind of go. Support in your conclusion also, support your thesis statement using your exploratory and evidence and reasoning. So ideally, again, like I said, it should be there. Should be your working thesis for your essay number 2. I said a lot of this should be written in MLA format. Have a works cited page and then text citations like I talked about in the MLA format video. You will, again, write your essay number 2 on the same topic as your essay number 1. So you want to be able to find a topic that you're going to be able to invest a large amount of time in. So 2 papers that are significantly longer. If you do change it, the rule here is if you change your topic, you need to completely write, after you write your exploratory essay, you will need to completely write a new exploratory. So making sure you spend time thinking about what topic and what problem you want to think about. Try to let the research guide you. Find information that challenges your opinion, let it. Okay? Get out of your comfort zone. Learn something new. Don't shy away from information that maybe you agree with simply because you agree with if it's facts. Okay, so allowing yourself to kind of build upon that. And make sure, again, you follow the outline. If you have any questions, if you want me to read your essay or read your thesis question, please let me know. I'll be happy to. Otherwise, have a great day.